Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope everything is well. I'm doing all right. I'm excited. We're going to a anime convention tomorrow. So, woo! Audio check sounds okay. We'll take this out now. But, yeah. Oh, dude. So, it's weird. Anytime I've been in here, I keep hearing this thing. It's one of those flares going on for those little daily things, but it freaks me out because it's not something I'm used to. So, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Got enough problems in my world. I don't need the game to be causing more. I got a dog that wants to get in here, but he ain't allowed. Because he's been a little tooty lately. TMI. I know. Anywho, so what's on the agenda tonight? Well, we got all sorts of great and wonderful things on the agenda tonight. The first thing, well, it's not the first thing, but the main thing, is we are going to continue to work on some achievements. Now, we did end up switching out our Litany of Fear down there on the hotkey on C because we had to do it 25 times and we did it. So, hooray. So, it's another one down. I think we're at 67 out of the 72 or 73 total. But the main one we're working on now is the one that the least amount of people have gotten, which is Minor. And that is to collect 10,000 of each resource by hand. And I don't know exactly how clear it is on that. The little nodules that you see sticking on the ground around these items, I don't know if picking those up counts. I don't think it does. And obviously the buggy doesn't count. That's the real kicker here, is because once I got the buggy, man, we did not collect stuff by hand. And so what we did was we came up here in the hangar and we set up some boxes and we started collecting 2,500 of each item and seeing if the achievement popped, because there's no way to track it, which is terrible. So I don't know. So I'm left to myself as to what items I might be missing. And I have cycled through those boxes twice now. So I have collected 5,000 of every item. And it still has not popped. This is the point I expected to get. Thinking between the 5,000 and 7,500 mark is where I'm going to get this. But I'm basing this off of some assumptions that could definitely be flawed. The issues are, copper and steel and the carbon. I don't honestly know how long I spent in the times where mining those materials mattered. I mean, it still matters now, but not so much. You know what I mean? Once you get to copper and then you move to the iron stage, you don't need copper as much. You still need a little bit, but then, yeah, and then you get to the aluminum stage, and then steel and copper both kind of fall off. You still need them when you repair some things. Comes to mind is like the decaliters. I believe they need copper ingots, things like that. But I don't know how much I collected back in the day before I had a buggy, but I don't think it was much. And I did blow through those stages, playing the campaign and playing the game. I wanted to get ornithopters. Didn't want to drive bikes around and stuff. And once I got the buggy, man, picking it up by hand was for losers. So I don't know how much I got. And I also thought about something else. Back in the day, I was using Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 cut arrays, which were very inefficient. So I wasn't getting a whole lot per mine. So I thought initially that those early stages were the ones that I was going to be missing. I figured copper, carbon, and steel, or iron. I'm sorry, copper, iron, and carbon were going to be the ones that I would get hung up on. Before I got my buggy, I had a Mark IV ornithopter, so I was flying around. That's where I got tons and tons of aluminum, was flying up to the shield wall and collecting it there. The same thing with basalt stone. But the more I thought about it, I really don't know if I've collected enough of anything. I mean, I would have thought some of those early materials, since I've been playing for so long, would have been done, but You know, how much granite did I actually collect? How much plastone did I actually collect? And how much did I collect by hand? In my early days in the deep desert with the titanium strontium, that was all by hand in my ornithopter. So in my head, I feel like I had to have done, you know, 10,000 of those materials because of all the stuff I have now. But and also we haven't been using the buggy for those until just recently. But then collecting some of it, I'm like, wow, I forgot how little you actually get when you do these. So I don't know if I got 10,000, but yeah, it's loads of fun. Um, but I'm feeling good that we're going to get this 7,500 mark done and we're going to see this thing pop. That's my hope and my prediction. And rebellions are built on hope. So let's do it. I'm wearing a Mandalorian t shirt today and luck, hoping. But anyway, so that is the main task that we're going on today. It's kind of a double-edged sword here because some of these materials are great. You know, you get more ethereal crystals. That's more cobalt paste. That's still used in almost everything I make. I've got a bunch of it now, far too much. But at least it still has a use. I don't need 10,000 granite stone or 10,000 salvage metal. Fuel cells, eventually I'll use them. But yeah, I don't know. We might end up walking outside and dropping some items on the ground that we collect that we just don't need. But what I've been doing here, you'll see these boxes have a little bit in. So when you mine this stuff, you'll get, you know, it doesn't come out like a nice even number. So this 152 was actually how much I collected over the 2,500 I needed to for my marks. So I just stuck it in another box and saved it until the next step if I get there. Because, you know, I did collect this by hand, so it's a little bit of a head start. But we have some copper, do not have any iron, do not have any granite stone. Actually, I think it's the other way. It's copper, granite, iron, carbon, and then we did aluminum here. But we're going to switch that up a little bit because in box number 2, we did ethereal crystals, we did jasmium crystals, then we did plastone, excuse me, salvage metal, and then fuel cells. But we're not bringing the jasmium crystals back. What I was doing was I was flying down there into Sheol, collecting them, and then flying them back here just to keep it straight in my head. And the thing about that is I have a base built almost just for getting jasmium. So we're going to put that down there and aluminum's coming over here. So this actually could be moved up a little bit. Actually, no, I don't think it can. Yeah, so we're going to do not jasmium up here. We'll do aluminum here, and it's just going to make the stuff fit in the boxes a little bit easier. So that is our plan tonight, is to see if we can get to the 7,500 and then take a trip to the deep desert and see if that sucker kicks. I have seen that this challenge, this achievement, can be kind of glitchy to where stuff collected in the deep desert kind of like resets the counter. So let's say you collect 10,000 fuel cells, but if 5,000 of them were from Haga and the other 5,000 were from the deep desert, you'd only be at 5,000 as far as the counter goes. Supposedly that's been fixed. I don't know. We'll see. I have collected some items, and an issue with that is you can't get strontium or titanium in Haga Basin. So people were saying the best thing to do is to pick a zone and collect the material specific to the zone. So if you start with a deep desert, get 10,000, 10,000, and that's all you collect. Then you come over here and collect 10,000 of everything else that you can get. And there's also a belief that spice sand and flower sand are not included. I'm okay if they are, because I know for a fact, one of the few things I do know about this game, that I have collected 10,000 of each of those. Well over 10,000. So we're golden there. But we're gonna do that tonight. see if we can get up to the, it takes about an hour. Got it down to about an hour to get 10,000 or 2,500 of each one of these things. And we'll go from there. The other thing that we're doing tonight is this. These guys, House Sita. They have pincushion boots, which I am missing. I'm actually missing 3 items from pincushion. Technically, I'm missing 2 items because in one of these other ones, I believe we've already collected it. Let me see. We'll get there. There it is. Yeah, we were missing the pincushion chest piece. This was funny because I have tons of those ship manifests. I just never did anything with them. This is the only thing you can do with them. And I put them into the inventory and it was like, oh, I got to do the math before I just go turn them in. And then, of course, because I'm an idiot, I didn't do that. So I just went and turned all of them in. And that's why I've got 24,000 when the highest thing you can get from this is 14. So we just wasted 10,000 points worth of ship manifests. But I don't think that's a big problem. I mean, we've obviously had extra. So we'll get them started going again. Those come from shipwrecks. So we'll just have to start doing shipwrecks again. But yeah, we got the chest piece, which is one of the 3 we're missing. We are missing boots and gauntlets or gloves. So this guy right here has the boots, and we needed to donate irradiated slag, which only comes from Sheol. So we're going to go do that, which works because we also got to get some jasmium for our little task up there. Now I'm only about 1,000 away, getting 13 each one, so I'm figuring it's around like 60 to 70. One really good run will nail that. Otherwise we'll need 2, but we'll have to see. But that's the other thing we're going to be doing. And then the third thing is just for funsies. We're going to head up to Arakeen, and we're going to go visit the auction house. And we're going to bring some items that you don't normally see on there, and we're going to throw them up there for sale. See if people need them and want to buy them. So there we go. Now we'll get started. We have also, there's the thirst quenched, whatever. You got to drink 1,000 sips from your canteen or your liter john. So we've been doing that every time we ever get thirsty or that number goes down. We still suit's been completely full for quite a long time, so it's all right though because we've been bouncing in and out of it. But yep, so we've been drinking water, which is very important in game and in real life. Take my advice, it's some wisdom. We'll give you a wisdom screen. I mean, I made it, so I'm going to use the damn things. But anyway, so we're going to head out. Now we're heading straight into Sheol, and I'm going to show you where I go for irradiated slag. So we have got to change our clothing. Through this process of the irradiated slag and the jasmium, I've actually already gone through one of my Mark V's. It had a little bit of wear on it, but yeah, we went through one of these. So hit an F and we do that. I used to put on the radiation suit and, like, you know, do the iodine pad. I don't think I have them. I have them somewhere. Use the iodine pills to get a little bit extra. I just don't hang around long enough to justify it, so we don't worry too much about that. Mark V suit gives us plenty of time. Could do a Mark 6 if I really, really wanted to. Again, doesn't seem to be the issue. So we're going to take our fancy hopper. We have been using this more. I've got plenty of resources to replace this. That was why I didn't use it very often. Oh, we made some changes to the base. We're building some more stuff. It's not quite ready, but yeah. I am not doing it. But anyway. But yeah, we've been flying around in the Mark 6. I usually didn't do that because, like I said, you shouldn't risk anything that you can't replace or that you don't want to lose. Like, you know, if it's gonna hurt you, don't risk it. I can replace it if I have to. And I've actually been really enjoying it because, oh, she's so quick and fast and responsive. I love it. Here's some spice we could get, but we're on a mission. There's more spice. The addiction is real. So I'm going to actually stop here for a second. This little base right here that I'm pointing at, this one, is a little Harkonnen base. The achievement master assassin for me is to kill bad guys, and for me the bad guys are the Harkonnens. But right after that is a nice little crash ship, this thing here, and that's where we're headed first. We're going to go to that one, and then we're going to fly over here, and we're going to hit these two. Each one of these guys has radiated slag. I'm looking because you can get hit by crash ships. I don't know what's going on. It's scaring me. But yeah, so we're going to go here, here, and here, and then we're going to jump out of the radiation zone just to let things calm down. And then we'll hit the ones that's on the opposite side there, and there's one all the way out of the radiation zone, and we'll see how many we have. You get radiated slags from the little chests that are in there. And also this big bad boy right here can have some in it, but it's really dark and hard to navigate. So I don't go in there that often, but you can get some in there. So let's get to it. This is a PvP zone, so if you have a populated server or there's other people that you're not friendly with on your Haga Basin server, there could be fighting here. We're going to stop again. I hate this setup. This setup always bothers me where you have a crash ship near a spice blow, because you could be there doing your thing and, you know, the worm pops up somewhere. And I just don't like the idea of an unpredictable worm popping up out of nowhere. It's a no bueno situation. But anywho, so let's get in here. But like I said, this is a PvP zone, so there could be bad guys about. And all the times I've been running down here, I have not seen any. Okay, so these guys are... Oh! Wow. These guys are computer game bad guys. Little NPCs. He's going to kneel down. We're going to put a bullet in his head, and then we're going to miss with the other one. Alright, so that poison should be enough to kill him. We're going to switch to our sword and wait for Happy Boy here. Man, you tough. Oh my gosh. Thank you. You're garbage. You notice I'm getting a Landsraad task. So I believe these guys are Harkonnens, which is good. There should be one more. It's going to be a chain gun guy. Looks like he did not want to come out to play, which means he's probably right up here. Oh, she is. Sorry. Hi. So just play with her till she's dead. And you notice I'm not grabbing anything from these people. These are all, there's mines all in here. So what I usually do is just run about, go up in the air, and we'll go over here. This one's a little upset because I guess I was here not too long ago, so it's hasn't reset. But we're gonna come over here, and we got 2 irradiated slags. And this was a mission, so it's only going to have some coins in it, but we'll take the Solari. Over here, and we get 5. It's not bad. Now this one, because this door is cut off, I like can't enter. See how it keeps kicking me back? But luckily, I'm still close enough to this that I can reach it. Ooh, 10. I'll take that. But you have to use E in order to get it. I don't want those gloves. That's a little dangerous, because if there are bad guys around, you don't want to be in menus like that. But we're good. This poor guy. You have stuff on you? Yep, has some darts. Alright, so there's one. Yeah, today. We'll be heading that way eventually. Alright, so we're at about, you can see the little radiation thing down there. It's a little hard to see, but we are at about an eighth, just a little bit over an eighth. I don't like to let that thing go past half. You can go to 3/4 before it shows it's like full, and that's when bad things happen. These ships don't normally see bad guys in. We should pick up speed so we're not screwing around. But we still want to make sure we got a shield on, and let's go quickly. Yep, that door is not good. Okay, so we're just going to run around. Set off whatever mines are laid. Oh, I stood right in that one. Like an idiot. Let's get healed. And another 5. Cool. So this one I can't get to because it just backs me out. But that's actually kind of a lie because there's a hole right here. And you can fall down in there and that gets you close enough. Got another 3. Works for me, right? And we're at a 1/4 on the radiation, so we're good. Ooh, baby, what are you doing? Don't scare me like that. And then finally we'll come over to this one over here. This one, if I'm not mistaken, also doesn't have bad guys, but never be too safe. There's 2 in that one. So this one, that one's gonna hurt. Yeah, I'll just stand in the fire. Here we got another 3. And we'll let that one go, and we'll just keep an eye on the door in case somebody is lurking about. This has been pretty low-keyed. Haven't had too many issues. So for this one, I don't think we can go in this room. Yeah, we can't, but because of the way it's set up, we can get access to it. We just have to hit E. There's only one. Boo. Alright, so now we're getting almost to half, and that is comfortable for me to head on out. So we're going to head a bit south. We've been to that one. Have we? Yeah. Come on. There we go. So once the screen goes normal, you're clear. And we're just going to let that radiation level go away a little bit because that's how radiation levels work. I think this one we haven't gone to, and that one we haven't gone to. So that's our marks. And then, like I said, if we're close or low, we can go to the big ship if we really want to. Get some speed. And this way we reset our radiation, so we're in great shape. This one's over here. Come on. If you're in need of irradiated slag, you can buy it from Zoe. She sells some. I think she only sells 15, though. Alright, here we go. We should have set off all the traps. 10. I like that. That's cool. There's nothing here because there was no mission for this ship, so she's empty. There is one up here. Only 3, but hey, can't all be winners. So now we got to cut this door off. And you want to make sure there's nobody around because your shield drops and you're out in the open. Alright, looks like we're clear. Only 1. All that work. And then finally, we got the one that's over here. There's a spice blow somewhere. See if we can track that bad boy down. Now this last ship here is actually, oh there it is. Spice over there. It is out of the radiation zone. So we're gonna come down here. And just after we cross over these people's bases, we'll be good. Now for this one, we're actually going to change clothes. We don't need the radiation suit anymore. We will eventually, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go full angry fighting mode gear. We'll drop in right here. Guns are loaded. How are you? Yep, good. Alright, we're ready to rock. Hello? Oh, there you are. That can hit him. So there's going to be 3 bad guys. One I just killed, and then this guy here. And then there'll be another one of those chain gunners. He's probably up inside. This is risky because there you are. And we're done. Take one of those. Same thing, just run around in a little circle. This was also a mission area, so it does have another 58 Solari. Like that door is not going to be accessible to me. I guess I went a little too quickly from the last time I ran through here. We got 2. Need a big haul. 4. So I won't be able to get the consolation chest, but I can get this one. We'll see. 2. Okay. It's also a good place to get the microfibers. Made out real well. Love to be able to get that. But there is no way to get into this room except through this door, and as you can see, since I didn't cut it off, it's not having it. So that's a typical run without going to the big main ship. So we're going to stay out of the radiation since we're not wearing the right clothing. And we're going to go here and we'll get a total on how much stuff we have. Is there spice right outside the door? There is. Look at that. I don't think that's ever happened, has it? Not complaining, but we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we come over here and we're going to open up this menu. What do we have here? 53. Not going to be enough. That's only going to be 500 to 600. So we're going to be a little shy. Might have to make 2 runs. Got 24 volume in this, so we're going to take that off because those are a little heavy. And for this stuff, we got this cutting the door off. I think technically this counts. But I've been not keeping it because I just don't trust it, you know what I mean? The rest of the stuff I'm not so sure about. Okay, so now we're kind of caught though, because this will be okay. We're just gonna dump these guys here and here, and that leaves us not bad. So yeah, we got about 100. Okay, that'll work. All right, so we're gonna actually go get some spice now. Drink water. Great. That is just great. The only way this would be better is if there was no worm sign down there in the bottom from it. Actually, I do kind of have to be careful because right here by the door, man, I don't need to be bringing dude into my own yard. Although if you watch my last stream, you'll know that I'm invincible, so who cares? My intention was not to be doing spice, but I mean, come on. You cannot walk away from one right outside your door. Definitely have to be careful because when we do our exit route, you'll see we're in the radiation zone and we are not protected, so let's not get too stupid here. And we'll go this way and we'll move this over just because it's heavy. Oh, he's gone already? Cool, buddy. Cool. Let's drop in right here because that's where we're going to be leaving from. And that should do it, right? Perfect. Oh, bad things. So I think that spice is going to be in the radiation zone, so we are going to have to put on our sad clothes. But now we're... I guess that's spice forming. That's going to be a blow soon. That's kind of bizarre. I don't know if I've ever come across one that early. Like, I thought that was a visual glitch, to be honest. This one's been here a while. You can see how dark and gross it is. You also got to be careful when you're harvesting in Sheol because you're not able to wear any of the fancy boots that make you less attractive to worms. So you just got to keep that in mind. Whatever rate you're getting out in the wild, you're not going to be getting here. Is he coming? Some people said that they thought the worms down here were a lot angrier. I don't really notice it. Seem to kind of be just as angry. I'm wondering if it's because, like I said, you have the ability to lessen your aggro when you're wearing different equipment and gear. And I wonder if the lack of that is the reason for it. Good enough. Oh, we dropped a little bit there. Haha. This is the last run of this, so we're going a little quicker. Yeah, I will, because that's how I roll. May not even be anything there. Oh, look at that. There was a tiny little bit. Yep. I'll do that. I don't care. I'll make another compactor. Alright, we did see another spice bloom, and this one looks like it's coming along very nicely. I tell you what, we're going to wait for this one. We're going to get out of the radiation. And we're going to harvest this one, then we'll head back to the base, because we're going to start working on, like I said, I was grabbing jasmium and then running it back. I was like, dude, you've got a base specifically built for jasmium, so why are you conveying it? Just keep it in your head. What we might do, like I said, since I'm 5,000, we may just go ahead and get 2 rows of it and be done with this. And then that way, we don't have to worry about this. Got all the stuff coming off my thopter there. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's freaking me out. Come on, man, pop. Before I build a base down here, in order to turn aluminum into duraluminum, you need jasmium, which only comes from this area. So, well, you could buy it too from like traders. Some traders have it, and then you can get it from the market. But if you're getting it yourself, this is the only place you get it from. So, the early days it was all thopter and by hand. So I do have some, at least. There she goes. I do have some already towards progress, but I don't know how much. I think we'll just do the 25 just to keep it normal. All right, let's go get this. We'll head back to the base and then we'll do it. Fresh blooms are always scary. Scary sounds. Yep. Oop. I do that a lot. I'll hit the button too quickly before the pile formed, and then it makes me start picking it up by hand, and I'm like, you idiot. Like right there, I'll be like that. Then it switches over, so it's nice. But, yeah, you end up putting your compactor away when you do that, but if you just fire it like it was out, it automatically pulls it back out for you if you screw that up, so. I feel like I'm pretty good with advice on what happens when you screw things up. We learn the hard way here, folks. See, that's not That's not bad, you know, 3/4 of the hull. Like I said, though, it's the soft step boots. Ooh, he's angry. It's the soft step boots that make the difference there. With those, we probably would have got those last couple shots in. So, no, I don't think they're any bigger or any more aggroed. Alright, we'll get the last little bit here, and then we'll get back on target. Oh, man. I'm firing off a shot that way. And that should be the last one for this. Sure is. Boop. Alright. That was really close too, man. Alright, so we're going to stop here. The monastery. And I'm actually going to drop everything off. I want that thopter to be empty. So we'll come down here to this guy because we already started putting some stuff here. And we're going to drop off our slag. And we'll keep... everything else should be okay. Down to 66, I like that. And then we'll bring you over. And then we'll just take these guys and drop them off. Bring them back down here just to try to keep them separate. That stuff can stay where it needs to. Okay, there we go. So now we're completely empty and we're ready to roll. So we're going to go out there and snag as much of this stuff as we can by hand. Specifically just going after the jasmium. Jasmium's really heavy. Really heavy. So you know, taking it by hand, you're going to want to stay close to the thopter. And of course, you can't step in the goo because the goo does horrible things and makes your radiation timer go much faster. If you look up in the top corner, well, you're not going to look at it now because you have to give me a second. No matching items. Of course, there's no matching items. I haven't done it yet. Boop. There we go. 180. We can go down in that cave. There's a whole bunch of this stuff down in that cave. The issue with that is... Oh, come on, man. The issue with that is we go down there, then we got to run back because you just don't have enough storage space on ourselves. Hit the F key, transfer to 180, and we're off. So I tend not to spend too much time in all of these areas. The big patches you'll find a lot in, but you gotta run around. These smaller little outcroppings here, there'll be 3. So with the buggy, I mean, oh, it'd be beautiful. You'll notice now we're just barely on radiation, but we can't reach these things from where we plant, so we got to drop down. And you'll see I'm at radiation level 3 standing here. So it's actually really... And you'll see how much faster that radiation level is going up. I don't want to do that because I won't be able to carry it all, so we'll drop it off. Come on, man. Thank you. And that radiation level is moving. Okay. Hit F. Hit this. So we're already at half. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to head out of bounds to reset that level, because having to get close to these things like that really plays havoc with it. And I don't want to get myself in, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't ever really like having more than half. So there you are. Now we'll take a look here. We should still have some. No, we transferred it over. So as you can see there, it's just a really quick run. We've already got 900. So it's not going to take long. Issue is Thopter can't hold that much. So we don't have too many more. Since we had to drop out, we'll just go ahead. We're going to go back to the base, and I set up the exact same thing as I have in the home base, which is a big box where I'm just dropping this stuff off. And I'm keeping it separate from the stuff that I've already grabbed from my buggy. My last trip. And it's this box right here. Boop. So this was the last grouping that I had, and this was what was left over from that first set. So this was the 2,500 to 5,000 mark. And it can stay down there. That's totally fine. So we will come here and we will drop you in. There's some titanium. That's what this box is supposed to be, but I don't have a whole lot of it. So there we go. So we are roughly halfway through already, which is good. We'll drink some water because that's what you do. There's 3 more clicks to the... Stop that. 3 more clicks to the 10,000 mark. Since we're stopping, let's go ahead and refuel. That'll be good for now. And we're back out. So this run I'm going to try to get as much as I possibly can because we were roughly half, but we had 400 and something to stay with us there. So the more I can get this run, the better chance we have of not having to go out too many times. A good little area, huh? We're a little glitchy. We got a storm somewhere? Alright, so this is the first set. So we're actually going to have to go in here and move it by hand. And from that point on, we can just hit F and she'll bounce right over. I think I saw one down there, but there's also one up here. Let's grab this one first. So I found that even though I can't see that, I can still actually hit it. Just basically, you know, once you've been doing this enough, follow it along. Tell you what, we cannot walk away from this. Because this is part of our collection. So I'll take the 144 fuel cells. And we're going to have to do a solid transfer over from that as well. So there we go. So that put us a little bit ahead on that. Of course, it is taking up space. And we are not doing well tonight. Here we go. It's the effect of the radiation timer. Plus, you know, I stream with the same system I'm playing on, so this is why people have more than one computer. But I can't do that yet, so. This is still a pretty safe bet for material-wise, because we're still using a lot of duraluminum. We got some time. So there should be 3 in here. Might be some bad guys. Nope. But we're going to have to step in the goo. This will help you learn how to deep desert mine, because you got to go kind of quick out there. You don't want to give bad guys too much of an opportunity to get you. Should fill us up, right? Yep. Storage is full. Let's go back, see what we got. overall, pretty quick and easy. That's why we built the Jasmine base. Gotta quit being stingy and just build some new wings and engines and stuff for my Tier 5 equipment. Alright, let's go down here and see where we stand. Boop. Alright, that's a good number, like that. Oh, it's a great number. Perfect. Okay, so we are good there. There's a whole nother row. And we've got some extra amount. So this would take us up to 7,500. So we'll move all of this down to the bottom just to help keep it straight. And this will be for our next run if we're required. But now we have hit the 3/4 mark with Jasmium. I could stay here and mine a whole bunch more, but I really don't think this is one of the things I'm missing. So we're not going to do that. Now we're going to load up our spice that we got. We need that. And we'll take this stuff out of here. I'm going to leave this here just because I don't trust it. Yeah, I did grab it that way, but keep it separate. All right. And this base is good to go. So we got no issues. Let's go ahead and take a drink. So there's one out of the way, and this is the one this is the only material that's down this far. Everything else kind of overlaps. I've been doing the Vermilius Gap for iron, and you can find granite and copper there as well. And I've been doing the shield wall for aluminum and basalt. Very good for those. And then Jaban al-Nabed, I think it is. Probably butchering the hell out of that, embarrassingly so. Anyway, this task is made much better by the fact that I moved my base up to where I did, because that put me in range of almost everything except for the Jasmine, which I wouldn't have been anyway. So this is really helping out. Now I could take my assault out because it's got much bigger storage spaces. But I've been doing like the quick, jump around trips. So most of it I've done here in the Scout. Guess we could do it in the we'll do one run with the assault, see if it makes life so much easier. And we're just passing by home, not paying any attention. Still not going to do it, guys. I think the amount of spice that we just got is enough for me to make another batch. And if that's true, that's awesome. Good enough for now. Down we go. And we'll go down here. Start doing some more decorating. It's a work in progress. Yes, we'll be able to make more spice. Sweet. Boom. And we got a good jump on the next set, too. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And there we go. So I only need 7,500 because the Landsraad event that we had here, we won, and they took the production reduction again. The 75% or 25% reduction on costs. So yeah, whatever is what it is. Okay, so we got some of these in our Scout. Boop. So we're already at 400 in there, 125. and we'll get an idea of where we're going to go. I need to drop this stuff off, and then this has to go to the Landsraad. So we're not going to waste too much time messing around with stuff. So let's just drop you up, you up. We're going to carry you. Oh, wait, we got to actually set ourselves up to carry it. Because right now it's in Scout, and I don't think, like I said, we're going to leave that. Let's go back down here. There you are, 53. Good, we got it. Awesome. No more radiation suit, so let's change that. We don't have much fighting to do, so we'll go ahead and go with our desert garb, but we'll leave those on. We like the soft step stuff. Pull you guys up. That'll work. That will work. Okay, so real quick, we're going to go visit the Landsraad. That's the wrong one. We're going to go visit the Landsraad and drop off that irradiated slag and see if that was enough to push us where we need to go. I'm wondering how much fuel we've got for this bad boy. Got one. That'll work for at least a initial short run. Always check your fuel before you leave. Don't ever get so excited that you fly out and find out that you run out of gas. Come on. There you go. It's another reason why I don't like flying this thing when supply runs, because she's so ungainly. Sound like another spice blow. Didn't really mess with the thrusters in the beginning, but I gotta admit they're pretty dang cool now. You can get from place to place. I almost died earlier because how would that sound? Anyway, almost died earlier because I came and talked to this guy and then went downstairs, got something to drink, and I got to chatting with Mrs. Rabbit, and forgot that I was just standing out here beside this guy. Apparently he doesn't get killed by the sun, but I do.
Name of the Red Duke. How can I be of service today?
I want to give you stuff.
Excellent.
Got something else here, but I don't ever want to turn that in. I think it's gun parts, which we're not there, but here's our house that we're looking for.
An unaffiliated house.
Yes. And Sita, and it's going to be Radiated Slag, and we'll hit all right. So let's take a look. That was this one. We were at 94.90, and once it refreshes, 10,179. So we're going to have to make at least one more run down there. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. You get the idea. But yeah, we'll go down there. We'll do the math. Call it 200. We need 300. So if we do 10, that'll be 130. We go down and get 30 of those things, bring it back. It'll be clear enough. I got to see if I have that heavy armor swatch. If I do, if I don't, we might still, I don't know. I'm not willing to make that run too many times. See, I'm starting to get killed here. Okay, so looking on the map, our base is here. These areas right here are really great for the basalt stone and aluminum, and you can get some copper. You can also get some basalt stone out of this area right here. Not so much up in this one, but over here. And for copper and carbon and aluminum and granite, we're going over here to these, Al Janub and Al Garb, that place and this place. So we're awfully close right now. And then the last thing we need is ethereite crystals, which we're going to get from in here in the Haga Rift. It's the only place you can get them from. So that'll be everything we need. In the meantime, we also have to try to collect some fuel cells and salvage metal. But it works out pretty well here. Now I'll show you what we do. So first off, we get stuck on some lights. For these guys, these little top things are just full of materials. So, you land on the top of these things. And as you can see, we got 2 carbon, 2 aluminum, and 2 copper. So, hooray. And that works out pretty well until you have a douchebag who builds his base on top of them. I don't know who that guy is. Anything about him? Did it work? I couldn't see it. Come on, man. Alright, there we go. So we're going to come over here. And we get nice and close. And we shall drop this over. So, yeah, we got 2,000, so that's quite a bit. So most of your aluminum and your copper and your granite stone and your carbon will come from this area. I see that sandstorm back there. Bastards. Oh, too far away. I don't think that's going to hit us. Looks like it's moving to the side. Hello. Thank you. But if we can, we'll see how much of these things we can get in one trip. And I usually go back and forth just because I don't want any of it to fall on the ground. With the exception of this carbon. For some reason, carbon's incredibly light, so... Wow, we missed that one. You can grab 2 nodes of carbon. And actually, you get a ton of it, so that's almost like, one of the blocks that we need. I can't do the auto drop though. There we go. Okay. And we'll grab some granite. Like I said, I'm not picking up the things on the ground. I just pulled 240 out of that little mining run. I don't think it was getting anywhere near that in the early days. So... it is questionable as to... Let's get some stuff up here. I'm tired of reaching all the way up there. Not bad. But yeah, I don't remember how much we were getting in those early days. So... yeah, that bad boy's gonna miss us. That's great. Your power's off. Okay. Got stuck in our own wings there for a little bit. You do have to be careful, because sometimes this thing likes to make you go right over to the edge, and that can be scary when you're up here, because if you fall, it's gonna be hard to get your ride back. Come on. I don't like that one. It's too close to the edge. Much better. Like I said, you can get 2 carbons, so why not? We're good. More water. don't know why I skipped that one. Ugh. It's me. I know better. You always have to approach them from the front. Sometimes you can tuck right into the corner here and get it to show up, but sorry. Saw my own eyeballs, man. That was creepy. You can also get the carbon from the Hagar Rift, but to be honest, going into Hagar Rift is so much nicer to just literally focus on one thing, which is getting those aetherite crystals. Calling it a day. All right, so let's hop in. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see. We'll drop you down here and there, and you here, and you go there. Alright, we're on our way. Just about halfway full. So, that'll work. We shall keep on it. Hey, what's up, kitty? I'm gonna have to say no, though, okay? Mwah. Okay. I'll tell everybody goodbye. Hop down. Boop, boop. Thank you. That is one of the problems with being like, I like to kind of organize it just visually, but when you do the auto deposit, it doesn't stay that way, so. Honestly, though, I guess we could just continuously just mine everything and sort it out later, but where's the fun in that? We gotta keep it going. Now, from what I was also reading, you don't get achievements to drop unless you're in what's called a safe zone. And a safe zone will be an immediate transition, like if you go to deep desert. From the world map to a regular map, that would technically count. Some things can pop when you go to your base. Or if you go to Arakeen or Harko Village. I've just been going to the deep desert. Seems like the easiest thing. For me personally, anyway. I was hoping it would crack, but... Oh, we forgot to drop our stuff off. We lost a little. Okay, so you go here. You go here. You're there, and somebody's fighting like hell down there. Alright, so we're lagging a little bit behind on copper. But otherwise, we're doing pretty good. Oh, she's heavy. Come on, big girl. There you go. Look at all this stuff. Not make the same mistake twice, right, everyone? There's another carbon here. I think we're going to need all three of these, but that might do it. We can do 2 carbons. Let's see if this finishes us off. Nope, we're going to need at least 1 more. So 1 more carbon and that will be finished. So, hooray. Yes, thrilling and exciting content as we mine ourselves a bunch of materials that we're not sure we're ever going to want to use. I mean, eventually we will. Worst case scenario, we could take some of this stuff to the auction house and just sell it. I don't really care if I get a bunch for it or not, you know? Carbon don't care, or copper don't care. This should do it. And then finally that. So this, I think, is the third little upper platform that we've come to. Oops. Oops. All right, we got 2 more granite blocks, and then this will be done up here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to organize this one more time. I want to see. We're getting awful close, aren't we? Boop. Okay, so you're good. Yep. All right. Is there anything else? Yeah, there's one more over there. I'll have to go drop it off though. Boop. Okay. This is also a great example. We'll go into the main menu thing here. This is a great example of why we ended up having some run over. See this? So out of this mining, we ended up getting 2,426. We only need another 75 in order to get to our 2,500. What are we going to do with all the extra stuff that we have? That's why we have some runovers. Looking at this right now, we're doing really good on aluminum. We're doing pretty good on granite and great on carbon. I knew we would. Copper's running a little low. So we're going to go again. We're going to get one more carbon load, and then we're not going to mine carbon anymore. And as soon as we get airborne, we can go here or we can go here. Doesn't matter really. Since we know we're low on copper, let's just grab this one. I think that's the only thing on here. CPU's low. I don't know why it's so angry. Although that is nice getting 240 of copper every time. So, we need one of these. And that should be enough, right? Thank you. All right, there we go. We're going to have to store this here. I could just dump it if I really wanted to. It's 150. I think we're going to do that. I think we'll dump it. Because I'd rather fill up the space of stuff that we actually need than hauling excess. Come on, bud. No, I think that's going to bring it over anyway, so we'll figure that out in a second. That's weird. Guess they spawned in a little too close. Yeah, as soon as it blew up, when I turned around and started skitter off, it stayed there. Oh, I missed. Should get a full warning here pretty soon. Tell you what. Oh, yeah. It's 30. It's 30 volume. We'll keep it honest. That should work. Hopefully that doesn't screw this up. It didn't. It was very close, though. Okay, so there we go. Storage full. Oops, sorry, hit the mic. Sorry. And now we're really close to home base, so up we go. Using these thrusters, man. We got stuff to do. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Been a while since I've been in my assault, apparently. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to organize the boxes here. And so we pull in you. We'll go ahead and just yank those over. So we need 500, about 750 left of that. Aluminum goes in a different box. We were actually already full on that, so that's inconvenient, but there we go. There's an entire line there. And granite goes up here. So we're about halfway to granite. Then aluminum goes in a different box. Aluminum we're going to put over here. So we got 51. Did real good on aluminum. All right, so we got this 154, and that actually goes there. And in our backpack, we got another 148. So we will put that back into the assault. 300. And that goes in here as an overrun. So there you go, one run. Didn't take us too long. And we are actually in really good shape. We've completed one line. One line is almost done, and we're halfway on the other. Now, we did not go out and get any iron. And we still did not get any ethereal crystal. We did not add any of our basalt stone to our listing. And we still need to get scrap metal and fuel cells. So, I'll show you where we're going to do all this fun stuff. We are going to, we're going to drop out. We're going to change. So when we come straight out of our door, because I've been making these runs, I know that we've got some fuel cells right here, and we got a copper node, which is great. So we will grab these right out of the gate. Oh, I'm not close enough. And we're able to get both of those, so that is nice. And we'll put them there. And then if we come right over here, there's another box of fuel cells. A little too close. It's all right. We're going to slide away from it. right. This one's nice because we have some salvage metal. Happy face. And we get 288 whenever we grab one of those. So that actually is pretty nice. We don't have to get a whole lot of them. It's our first time getting some Zabal saltstone. Perfect. You can get a bunch of these, by the way. A bunch of these. Yeah, we can go. Because there's also a copper node right over here. We'll get there eventually. $48. Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna grab this little metal right here, and then we'll get back up in the air and see what we're gonna do. Oh, we're full, but you know what? Salvage metal, I'll go ahead and let it lay on the ground. It's the least of my issues. We go boom, boom, like that. That only brings over some of it. We didn't have any of that yet. Each one of these is 125, so you get 4 of them, you got your 500. 2 of these are 144, so you need 4 of them, and then 220 or 240 each time you get those, so not bad. Yeah, we're gonna come around this way. Say hi to those guys. Later, fellas. Okay, we're gonna land here. Very strange. So just like any other time that you're playing this game, you'll start to get an idea of some routes that you can go once you set yourself on a task like this. Just calm down over there. What are we doing? I think we can get both of these. Still roll out of here. Yeah, it should be fine. If not, the salt zone hits the ground, who cares? Perfect. Let's see if we're full yet. Should be getting close. We are not full yet, but we are getting close. Copper we should be good on, so I don't think I need any more of that. We just started with this. We've got 1.5 here, and we've got about 1. So we'll look for some more basalt, some more salvage metal, and some more fuel cells until we fill up. Oh, we're stuck in our wings. Need that copper. You could still technically use the buggy to do this. You just can't use the cutter array on the buggy. So you could drive the buggy around. It's got really good, it's got a great amount of storage. So you could use it. You just got to make sure that you don't ever jump out of her, and or that you always jump out. Just don't hit it with the, Yep, we're full. Alright, that's good enough. Just got to make sure you wouldn't use the cutter array. Yeah, that's within a kilometer of my base. Able to do all that. So this area is where I finish up the copper, and we'll look for fuel cells salvage metal and most of this basalt stone that we need. We gotta not park on the landing pad there. Tell you what, we're gonna just banging stuff around now. We're gonna park the assault where it belongs so that we're not quite so stupid. Okay, so let's see here. We go to you. And we've got that. And well, that better not be what's going on here. That's going to anger me. Probably is. That's how my life goes. I do that all the time. Need to do something 100 times. I'll do a bunch of it. I'll stop. I'll look. It'll be at 99. So we got almost, yeah, we got half of that in just that single run, really. So it's not bad. You're good. And I'll bring you over. And we're good there, too. Not bad. Again, we haven't gotten any iron, and we haven't gotten any ethereal crystals. But let's go ahead. Ow. Okay. Man, we kind of broke her, didn't we? Sorry about that. Let's do this real quick. Another 3. Hell yeah. So now we're back in the scout. It's a little faster. I kind of like the speed over the hauling capability, to be honest. So you can see there's a bunch of basalt and copper below me. The occasional granite. But we're going to head over here into the Vermilius Gap, and we're going to get some iron. That's specifically what we're coming over here for, but any salvage metal and any fuel cells that we find, of course, we're going to grab. And there's also granite stone over here. But our main focus is for the iron. That's almost like I knew this was here. Get a good amount of iron. 200. It's not bad. Initial set, so we'll have to put it up here. Dude. Put you down there. Boop. So we want to really focus on pretty much just getting iron. Like there's granite right there, and I do know I need it, but this is the only place that I can get the iron from. Well, it's not the only place, but this is the only place that I'm going to get it. So the more iron I get, the better off I'll be. And get granite in several other places. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Thank you. Seeing the salvage metal, I mean, it's everywhere. I'm not too concerned about that. Got to go back to the ship. Rookie mistake. What are we doing? That lady actually kind of scared me. I don't think you guys would have seen it, but yeah, we did a little... Just so focused on mining. Alright, storage is now full. Let's see what kind of shape we're in here. We got 3 rows of it, plus an extra 70 and 16 here, but we've still got quite a bit of space for ourselves. So let's go ahead and we will continue on until our backpack is full as well. I don't think we're going to get all of this. There it is. And that's 2 kilometers away. So still not far from the base. No, I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this stuff. I mean, some of it will put to good use. Most of it, not at all. Not at all. Also nice doing this from the hangar. Just real quick, straight drop-offs. It's beautiful. Alright, iron goes here. Excuse me. So there we are. See, we were able to almost get every bit of iron that we needed in just that single run. What we'll do now is go back to the same area and we'll focus a little heavier on the granite because we know we need 1,000 of that and we need a little over 500 of iron. So we'll try to keep those in our head and then we'll see if we can get that copper bit finished off as well. And we can come over here because we do have some more fuel cells to drop off. Still lagging pretty far behind on that. But we're going to take care of it. We're heading back in that direction, but you know what? While we're here, let's just stop. And we'll take care. Thank you. Of our copper problem. So we know copper's done. Ah, when we get where we're going, we'll drop it off. So we came in straight on here, and then we went to that way, so we're going to go this way. Because we know that stuff's already been mined. Hasn't been long enough for it to respawn. So we'll head that way. There's that copper that we're not going to need. Let's do this real quick because I said we had to remember. Boop. Well, if we have to push through this again, at least we'll have a whole bunch of copper to start off with. Alright, 2 of them are set. This is a nice little spot, huh? Mm-mm. We know we're not getting copper anymore. Come on, get up the hill. Yeah, I don't think I had. Oh, I did. Good. I do not honestly remember how much iron I needed. Oh, I missed that so terribly. Holy cow. Shouldn't even give me credit for that one, dude. $130 should be all right. Sure was. Okay, so let's see. We'll put you down here. Pretty sure we got enough granite. We needed like 700, so we're a little shy on iron. So we'll grab one more block of iron. See some fuel cells. Let you over here too, man. And that fills us up. And we're 1.3 kilometers away from our base. So still very close. Actually, we could have landed out in the patio there. Okay, what do we got here? Boop. And let's see. So it looks like we got a little bit extra iron, but yeah, we probably didn't need to get all of that. And that's a bunch extra. Actually, I could have just double tapped them. Got quite a bit extra here. Eesh. Okay, so boom, 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 boom. All of those are filled. So hooray. Wonderful. We'll put you there. Sorry. Put you over here. What am I doing? It's not in the buggy. Those all get stored. This comes down here and then comes over here. Okay. So, Only things that are left is a bunch of this stuff, the basalt stone. Need a little bit of aluminum, and then we need a bunch of salvage metal and fuel cells. Then we have to go after ethereite crystals. Ethereite crystals are going to take, honestly, some of the most time because we got only one spot to get it from, Haggard Rift, but you know, it's not the worst. Could be better. While we're here, we're going to go in and we're going to drop off all of our extra stuff. Okay. So, just to go over it again, we ended up doing our first runs right in this area, along these little fingers here on the top. That's where we got a lot of those initial materials. Our second run, we came this way. Well, actually, I shouldn't say those materials. So we got a lot of the aluminum. Well, we got all the aluminum. The aluminum, the copper, we did really well on. We got all the carbon we needed, and there was some granite that you're going to find in these areas along these tops of these things. So real quick and easy, at least from where I'm located. Then second run, we came out here and we went along this route. We got some basalt stone, found quite a few fuel cells and some salvage metal, and we were also able to get some copper out of this part. Then we came over here, and just by running along these little areas right here, we were able to get all the iron that we needed, the rest of the granite that we needed, and we found some salvaged salvage metal and some fuel cells as well. So we've got one last place that we're going to go. And like I said, we just need a little bit of aluminum. And the place we're going for where I'm at is straight up Eastern Shield Wall. The Eastern Shield Wall, we'll find tons of basalt stone, we'll find a bunch of aluminum, and we'll also find a lot of fuel cells and salvage metal. So pretty much everything that we're missing we'll be able to get here. Just pass some aluminum, but I think we'll be okay. Because there is a ton of it up here. Come on, dude. It does kill me to not pick up those little nodes on the ground. So the only things that we're missing, with the exception of the ethereite crystals, there are, like I said, a ton of them up here. Salvage metal and fuel cells we're going to find a lot of. And aluminum and basalt stone all over the place up here. So that's our run. I don't think we had any fuel cells that we picked up yet. Okay. A little bit of copper up here too if we really wanted it, but we don't need copper, so we shall skip it. And again, this is a very close route to where my base is. Your base may not be so close, but you can understand why the shield wall is a very popular building location for larger size bases. So what you'll want to do is towards the end of your travels and your gameplay, as you're getting farther along, this area on this side of the map is definitely a good place to end up. I've also gone through a, oh, I don't want to do that. I've gone through a power cell, the battery, through this little adventure. And are we full? This works out nice for me because literally, I mean, I'm under a kilometer away from where home is. Can land it here. Oop, I hurt myself. We can land it here because that still counts as far as unloading and loading stuff. Okay. We don't need anything in there. Boop. All right, so we need one more shot of aluminum, and then aluminum is done, which is great because that's the heaviest thing we have here. We need we need 600 or 700, and then the rest of it are these guys. So let's go back to the exact same spot we were in. We're just gonna snag one shot of aluminum, and then we're gonna skip the rest. Here, because it's usually a good spot for materials. So if we get this done and we still do not see the minor achievement pop, the only option we have is to assume that we were that low on a certain material that we needed to do this much mining, which I don't know, man. It doesn't seem right. Doesn't mean it isn't right, but it just doesn't seem right. And the only other option we have is that we really underestimated our level of stravidium and titanium, and I think that actually is somewhat possible. Even though rolled right off of that one, even though I feel like I've gotten so much, again, I don't think I have up here the right picture of just how poorly the efficiency of mining that stuff was. So even though I did get tons and tons of it, I may not have gotten anywhere near the volume that I think I got. But it just, I mined so much of that stuff and did all of it by hand. Like going out to the islands, you know. I would come back with loads. These things filled to the brim. And I got caught by the wings. It's copper. We went over this. Hey, you cannot step on keyboards, man. Ah, knocked my headset off. I think he went out of this room. I think that's why he's doing that. Oh, we got a little pool there, didn't we? Really? Thank you. Ooh, we getting close or no? No, not really. That's the way we came in. We should be getting close to being all the basalt stone that we need. So we will just be down ethereite crystals and the salvage metal and fuel cells. Oh, we came this way. Yeah, we came down that way. So we'll go around. Should be a fuel cell box around the corner here. Hey, what's up? I'm just gonna fly right past all that nonsense. Ooh, all that nonsense because those guys will shoot at us. They're very angry. Okay, did not see any fuel cells. This thing was shaking us the whole time. Good God. Driving it like we stole it tonight, aren't we? So that should be enough of that. That is finished, so it should just be these two guys. So the deep desert is a great place to find fuel cells. There are actually more fuel cells out in the deep desert than you find in Haga. They're all over the place. But of course, now I'm scared because, you know, reading Reddit and other people's experience that they have where the fuel cells are splitting between maps caused an issue. So now I'm all scared. I don't, excuse me. I don't think that people were wrong. It just seems to me that when you look online, a lot of people don't thoroughly investigate the situation before they make a judgment. So saying that, oh, this is what happened, well, that may just be what happened for you because of you and your specific issue. You know, some people say, oh, you got to go click here and do this because that's what unlocked it for me. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. 100% that's what unlocked it for you. But that didn't have anything to do with it. It just happened to be what you were doing when whatever was wrong rectified itself. Whether it was an action you took or something on the server side or the company. Just seems to me that people are... Uh-oh. People were very quick to determine things without properly researching. So, storage is full. It's good because we almost out of gas. Do I even have fuel? Nope. We have... Oh, there's fuel cells right there. Good. We have gone through a lot of fuel as well through this process, but 10,000 of every material will do that. All right, let's see where we're at. So you get to go there. A little bit of that, just a tad. Barely anything there. That was enough with some extra. And wow, we did kind of overshoot this, didn't we? Oh, we did. Okay. So these are all extra items. We just need some more fuel cells and a little bit of salvage metal. And then, of course, the tellurite crystal. So let's take ourselves here. We'll dump our extras. We'll go after that. I know I normally do 2 hours, but you know what? We're on a mission. We're going to see it through. Oh! Remember what I said? You never leave the hangar without gas. And we're going to take 2 because we know we're about to use 1 right out of the gate. Got some water. Damn, 600. We're thirsty. So, now we know we need just a little bit of fuel cells, a little bit of salvage metal, and tellurite crystals. So, we are going to grab these since we saw them coming in. Put them there. We're going to go try to get as much tellurite as we can. I think we have to, in a scout, make 2 trips. It'd be horrible if we do. Oh no. That's no bueno. We'll be well out of range by the time that thing comes in. Saw some fuel cells down there, but we really can't stop. Well, the weather lady didn't say anything about that. She normally won't say it if you aren't in its path. But I kind of feel like I'm in its path here. Doesn't matter now, though. Good old Hager ripped. Mixed feelings about this. Kind of sucks being down here. It's not so bad being in a thopter as it is when you're, you know, like straight rolling through with the buggy. At least the thopter you can go from point to point. But yeah, there's a lot of NPCs you got to kill, and they're not hard. It's just a pain in the butt. See, like all these douchebags here. Come on. Come on. Alright. Alright. We'll do it this way. Come on. Whoa. None of that had to happen, but it's a little different with these guys versus the ones that we were fighting down in Sheol. They're a little tougher. We can get a little cocky with these guys. But here, we only pull 112. We need a lot. And this stuff is very heavy. Now there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can go just from the outside. Each one of these outside of little doorways is going to have 2 nodes out front. And, you know, you just fly around until you see them. And because it's pitch black in this stupid place, it's actually pretty easy to see them. You can... Yeah, see there's some right over there. You can go in here and there'll be some nodes throughout. Not the most fun getting these things. Yeah, might jump too soon. Come on. And sometimes they're real pains in the ass. Like you'll scan it. That one's actually really good. There'll be ones where it's like, dude, you can't line yourself up. You can't do anything. It's just so annoying. So that's why this is just a pain in the ass. I know better than to run into my own wings. More bad guys up ahead. So, like this one's actually, this one's not so bad. It's pretty easy to maneuver through this area. Some of them tight fitting. There's some radiation in some spots. So, you know, this is just something you're going to have to decide for yourself. We're actually out of the rift now. Saw somebody walking around. Oh, he's over there. Maybe I can get this stuff without him getting upset. Well, I would think that's not an option, huh? Seriously? Alright. I see you.
I'm coming for you.
It's a shame because these are deserters and I don't get any credit for killing deserters. I do need a whole bunch. That's probably reset now. You need a whole bunch of Harkonnens, but today. Thanks. One of the happiest days of playing this game was when I got the buggy and it could come down here and get these things, because some of them are just so annoying. How we doing, by the way? It's climbing quick. This is one of the areas that I may be short on, because like as soon as I got the buggy, I stopped getting this crap by hand. In fact, I could tell you the last time I went inside one of these little stations here. Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you're in a vehicle, you can toggle your headlights. It says it right there. But yeah, that's actually kind of helpful in some situations. As soon as you get out of it, though, it turns them off. And that's ornithopters, buggies, sand bikes, everything. Everything has headlights, apparently. I spent a lot of time in this game not knowing that. I mean, it says it right there. It's my fault for not realizing it, but... here we go again. Alright, you're getting sorted. Come here. How did you survive that? Like I said, normally I don't run in, but I saw it. So... might as well, right? Come on. What did I get? Wonder who's fighting. When I was first got my buggy, like I said, was so excited to be over here, so I could mine with I could mine with the buggy. I ended up getting her stuck in like one of those things, one of the mining pieces of equipment or whatever the hell they are. And I actually had to disassemble it and put it back together in order to get it out. It would not come unstuck. It was hilarious. More bad guys. Great. And there's some bad guys over there too. Guys are not bright at all, man. Guess I shouldn't complain. Their terrible line of sight keeps me from having to fight everything. Uh-oh. Everything on the damn map. Alright, we got enough to do one more. I hadn't thought about it, but I guess technically it doesn't say you have to keep this stuff, you know? So I could just drop it on the ground. It's wasteful though. I hate the idea of doing that. Great. Thank you. I don't think we got enough to justify that one more time. Yeah, probably not. Should maybe see if we can find some fuel cells or salvage metal on our way out. This is real nice, though. It's really nice to just fly out of this bad boy and be like, yeah, peace out. instead of having to drive your way all the way back to one of the entrances. Ugh, that was a pain in the butt. Let's keep her low so we can see if we can find some fuel cells. Looks like that storm that was unannounced is gone. You can hit that wall. Woo. Yeah, a little bit. This base is going to fall down. It's going to take forever, but it will fall down. We're not going to find anything? Salvage metal's better than nothing, right? We're full now, huh? That probably hit me. Okay. Alright, we're full there. Awesome. So all we need are more fuel cells. A lot more fuel cells. And another full run just like we did there. So we need 515 fuel cells. And another same run to fill everything up here. That's garbage, man. Back at it. We're going to do less talking and a whole lot more flying here right now. Well, no, I should still talk, but I just know I need a bunch of fuel cells. So we're going to go to all the spots that off the top of my head I can remember there are fuel cells. From our previous run, everything should have respawned. So we should be good to go there. Oh, come on. All of this for an achievement. Not a complete waste, like I said. Like, you know, these fuel cells, do I need all these? No. But, I mean, eventually I'll use them. Power and generators, making... Stop shooting. Making fuel cells for vehicles, making fuel cells for the base generators. They do have value. I won't have to go get any for a long, long, long time. Ugh. Alright, so we can come back here. The only thing we should have to do now is go get another full load of Ethereite, and that will be completely it. Takes about an hour to an hour and a half for me to do a full run. Alright, so there it is. Oop. At least we got a good head start if we have to do this the fourth and final time. And then we get to know whether or not I'm being truthful to myself as far as how much strontium and titanium I've actually collected. That's one of the issues with people saying that it depends on, you know, where you collected those items. Whether it's split between the two or having been... Oh, look at that. Why is that there? That's not supposed to be there. The reason I say it's not supposed to be there is pretty sure that the worm can't get you here. Is that quicksand? No, it's nowhere near. Yeah, the worm can't get you here. This was supposed to have been taken away. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to say stuff like that. I don't see nothing. It's already too late. So, yeah, that was supposed to be taken out. They took that out when they took the flower sands that were in the non-danger zone for the worms. Boy, it'd be great if they put all that stuff back. I guess we could have hung out there, right? Alright, I don't know if it's been enough time, maybe, for everything to have respawned for us, but we'll just go until we see the crystals on the walls. Oh, come on. That's never going to work. Yeah, I'll never be able to get that one. It's another problem. Let's try it from this side. I think so. I'm saying, man, I'm wondering if we could just go through here and drop this. Drop this stuff on the ground. Doesn't say you gotta keep it. It just says, yeah. Why do we still have those? Oh, we didn't put them. Oh, well. But it doesn't say you have to keep it. It just says you have to do it. Oh my gosh. I could make this a tad bit easier on myself by not carrying so much crap. I do have a lot of crap on me. And having all that crap on you, you know, does do some damage to your backpack. This stuff is real heavy, though, so it's really not going to make that much of a difference. Can I just grab this stuff without you guys shooting at me, please? A sniper? Alright, well, we'll do it. It's over here, Dingleberry. Again, there's people shooting. I don't know who they're shooting at. Yes, I'm here. Just mining this rock and then I'll be gone. Me. And I'm leaving. Wouldn't be so bad if there was a Landsraad task or something for deserters at least, you know? Ah. Not a whole lot of crystals coming out of this rock. Come on. There you go. Take a look. Well, there's our first 500, so we need to do that again, and then as much on this one as we can here. This is where I got stuck. Oh, I'll show you in a second. So it's right here. Mm-hmm. Sorry. So I came along, and the buggy went up here, and I got caught on this and that handrail, and it turned me on my side. And when it turned me on my side, it just sat there and just did this. Just back and forth. I couldn't get it, like I could get it to move back a little bit and forward, but it wouldn't flip over so that the roll would continue, and it just got stuck there. So I'd already collected a whole bunch of crystals, so I ended up having to take those out and drop them on the ground, and then with my welding torch, break each piece of a buggy off, and then go reassemble the whole thing here. It's one of the problems with that is, you know, you need the last thing you can take off is the chassis, which is the first thing you need to take off to build. So you got to be able to store all this stuff. It was it was insanity, but it did work at least. So I had to take the whole buggy apart and then put it back together over here just because it got stuck when it hit this handrail and it tilted onto its side. Sometimes things like that happen, and you know, you look back on them and you're like, oh, that was funny. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all. I'm getting actually a little irritated thinking about it right now. Not much irritated, but little. Spice is blowing tonight, guys. Holy cow. That's a nice one at least. See? Ooh. What a well-behaved section of ethereal crystals, right? Come on. Like a glove. Ah, you bastard. Did that terribly. Alright, that should take us to the second 500. So we're just going to grab, like, whatever we can find, the closest ones. To make sure, because I don't want to have to come back here to go get 20 of something. Slowly. This is from talking about my buggy getting stuck. Storage is full. How are we doing with us? Yeah, we're good with us. So go away. We're gonna zip in here. Good God. I'm not going to claim to be like the greatest miner in this game, but I don't know why I don't know why it deflects sometimes when you get close to something. Ugh. Painful. Alright, that's going to be it. Let's go forward. Alright, so this will have gotten us the 2,500 for every item that we can get in Haga Basin. Which means that we have now gotten 7,500 of each item by hand. This thing better pop. Looks so nice and clear, right? It's like, oh wow, this is actually kind of cool. I can see everything. Everything's great. I don't know why, but now they just ruin it when you cross that border. Like y'all couldn't let me see. Still got irradiated slag. I got a red motor on this bad boy. I got some issues, folks. I unfortunately don't have the space to pick up spice, but we'll worry about spice at a later time. It's crazy. It's supposed to be going. I think it was originally right here. That might be a new spot. Hell, maybe the worm can get there. I don't know. Okay, so we do not have to verify the jasmium down at the other base, down at the monastery. We know we did that one right. And with these, we will easily finish off what we have to do here. Boop. Boop. Oh, it's too much? Okay, well, we'll take you. This is fun. Oh my god, come on, dude. We really doing this? Yeah, we are. Okay, so it looks like it wasn't enough space to, oh, we don't want to do that one. We're going to do this one. to actually fill it up, so we kind of gauged a little bit, little off on our numbers, but there we go. So that's all in, and we just need to put this someplace else. So, and that's extra. Right? Right. Okay. Oh, we got tons of space over here. Maybe that's where we screwed it all up. And those are extra. So that'll get us started on our next run. If we have to do it, I really hope we don't. Okay. So now we're at 75. I would not have thought I would have got to this. Now, it could have popped. It could have popped within the first 10 minutes of doing this, depending on what materials we were short or whatever. So we have to go somewhere. We're going to head to the deep desert. That's the quickest and easiest one, at least for me. But before we do that, we are going to hit that button instead of the one we want. We're going to grab a couple things, and we're going to head to the auction house. I understand what the concept was for this. It was a way for us to be able to trade with people that we don't know. Like, if, you know, we have friends that we play the game with. Yeah, hey, do you need something? I got something, etc. But for people that we don't meet, and also we don't want to create that friendship bond. It's like, dude, you need this, here, you can have it, but don't, you know, I'm not looking for friends, no offense, type thing. You could just trade items for Solari, for money that you can then use to buy whatever you want, buy other items, etc. The issue was, and what I think took the biggest hit, was the duping economy. People learned how to falsely create tons of money. So what you have happening here is, when this part of the transaction means nothing, this thing, taro cutter array, it's a duraluminum tool that can cut titanium and strontium. It's a way to get into the titanium strontium mining without having a Mark 6 cutter array. So this is actually really good, and everything else that you have here you can acquire. How much is this worth? I've seen them going for like 500,000 Solari. It's ridiculous. But it's not ridiculous because this number means nothing to a lot of people. Tons of people were able to dupe that Solari, or those horrible sites where you go and pay actual money and they send you like 300 million Solari for it. You know, those kind of things. But I at first thought that it would really be cool to, you know, selling things on the market to people who need them. But I have no ability to determine whether or not that's the person I'm selling something to. I just don't know. So, you know what? We're just not going to worry about it anymore. And we're going to take some items that aren't ridiculously hard to get, but aren't the easiest thing. Namely agave seeds and some taro cutter arrays and some military power regulators. That'll be good enough for now. Now we're going to head to Arakeen, and we're going to go to the market, take a look at it. I bought very few things from the market because it just seems that everybody was crazy priced. And there's things I've seen like, oh, I need that. And then I'll look at the price and be like, oh, I don't even have 10% of how much you're asking for that. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to go over there and we are going to offer, that's not what we want. We want that. Here I'm trying to build decorations and stuff. Come on. Man, we have put a lot of time on this thing. This thing, honestly, we didn't use it very often. That was worse than I thought. Holy cow. I'm not getting spice tonight. Stop it with that. Alright, so we're just going to repair up real quick just because I don't want to forget. So I understand what they were thinking about with the market, but it just didn't work. It's a shame. Because it's definitely a place that could be pretty helpful, you know, if you run around and do contracts or you're clearing out some of the early testing stations and you have a decent amount of money, but you're kind of being held up by moving into another stage. To be able to go to the market and turn some of that Solari into an item needed would be great. It just didn't turn out that way. So I put a Taro, the first Taro cutter ray I sold on the auction house, I put it in for 37,000 Solari. Which, if you ask most people, that would be a steal. Put another one up earlier today for 50. We got a little uppity in our prices. All right. Really hoping that during this loading screen, we see that thing pop. Come on, baby. I do not want to do this anymore. Right down here. Come on. All right. There's a very small possibility that I'm jumping too soon over here. That sometimes it does take a little while for it to populate. Or I'm just not there yet. I think, honestly, I might want to switch over. I don't think titanium's the problem. I think stravidium is. If I got less of one of those two, it probably would be stravidium. I know that you make the same amounts, but I may have to go and get a couple thousand of those. Not real happy about that. Although the Litany Against Fear achievement did not actually show up on my screen. I was actually doing it, and it's like, how many more do I need, dude? What's going on? And I looked on the Steam Lab, on the Steam achievements, and it was cleared off. And I'm like, oh, well, I never saw that. Maybe we can hope Miner is the same thing, but I really doubt it. We did an extra long stream, too. Because I was so sure it was going to pop. And now it looked like an idiot. Now I look like an idiot. It's one of those moments that we're going to be like, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you out there. And then we turn it off. And then, like, once everything's shut down, it's just like, Arakeen always takes so long to load. Didn't we win that? No, not yet. We need that to finish off, and then we will definitely have won, but we're way ahead, and they can't do it. They just, these guys don't try anymore on my server, at least. Oh, look, everything else populated. Regis Karpov 38s for a compact compactor. I might have to do this just because I don't have any more of them. But that's for another time. All right, so my market for Arakeen is right here where the Chom sign is. And let's go take a look. Yeah. Sold almost immediately. Yeah, for 50,000. So, boop. Yay. If you look under unique schematics, these prices aren't too bad. So I just sold a Tarl Coteray for 50,000, and this guy's got it listed for 815,000. Wait. So what you do is you go in here and you go to an item that you want to sell, which in this case is okay. So the average price is 815. What this means is no one's selling any of these. So there's nobody selling a backup tool. There's no one selling welding wire. Since there is someone selling this now, if mine was in there, then that would have cut the price down to like 400 and some thousand. So this gives you an idea, but this price is what somebody put it in there as, not what it actually is worth. And worth depends on the buyer. If you don't need it, then it's not worth anything to you. But if it would really help, there's a good chance this is my Taro Gunneray. He could have bought it from me and then put it back up on the market at 800,000. How funny would that be? No one's selling military power regulators, which I'm also selling. So if you don't know what something's worth, how much do you sell it for? You can Google it, like look on Reddit, get an idea. They'll kind of give you an idea of something. I'm going to take this and I'm going to go ahead and sell it. And no, we're not going to do that. What do you think? We'll do 100. And we'll see how long it stays up. We'll put it up for 3 days. So there we go. So now let's see what the average price is. No, but still listed on there, huh? All right, so agave seeds, I have seen them listed to go for, like 6,000 a piece, something silly like that. Price per unit. So when you do this, this would mean that somebody's going to give me 50,000 for all 50 of these. I'm not trying to make money like ridiculous amounts. I'm good with that. Go for it. And military power regulators. So those are used for manufacturing some higher end equipment. We're going to put that under 2,000. We'll list it for 3 days and we'll sell. And then you look at your orders that are active and it tells you if anybody's bought anything. Oh, I only put the agave seeds up for a day. That's stupid. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody buys them. Yeah, the market kind of got ruined by the dupers, and the fact that there should be some kind of we shouldn't be able to determine the price ourselves. There should be a range where this thing's worth X amount. No one's selling it, so you're the only person selling it, so you could make 10%, 20% extra. This thing's worth, let's say, 100,000, and there's 10 of them already out there. So the most you could sell it for would be, the least you could sell it for would be like 95 or 90. You know, it's not a perfect system, but there needs to be a bracket that we operate in. Otherwise, I could put my taro cut array up for 300 million, and somebody who duped a bunch of money or bought it with real money, who has that kind of Solari funds, they could buy it. And the real question is, you know, you're not supposed to do that. Obviously, duping is a bannable offense. They'll kick you out for that. I don't think you're supposed to be able to buy Solari anyway. People do it, but you're not supposed to be able to do it. But in the event that you did, if I sold my other taro cut array for 300 million and you bought it for 300 million, do I get in trouble? I just put it up there for a price. It was bought with duped money from somebody who did duping, but do I pay a price too? And you could say absolutely, but what if that same person who duped their money buys mine for 100,000? How do you determine that I don't get in trouble? I'm just doing the right thing, you know. That's not a douchebag price. It's twice what I asked for the one from earlier, but it's not a douchebag price. Do I get in trouble? Am I responsible for a buyer? This does not have any ability for me to recognize who I'm buying from or limit who I'm buying or selling from. So, you know, it's how angry can you get at me? I need pincushion parts. Otherwise, I gotta go do other stuff. So I was looking through here earlier. I need those. 820,000, of which I've got like 300,000. Desert garb for 500,000. And these are schematics, yo. It was a great idea. Unfortunately, a glitch allowed people to duplicate their funds, which then just inflated this market. And you can get rid of the people that did that, but their money's still going to be out there. And you technically can't punish everyone, especially ones that did normal transactions. You know, somebody who duped buys all 50 of mine for 50,000. I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I didn't do anything wrong. You can't kick me out because I just put this up here, and somebody who did something bad, they got in trouble. Yeah, so you could rag on them, but you gotta leave me alone. Well, we did not see the minor achievement pop, which means we still got some more work to do, which I am totally not excited about. Inside, I'm getting a little tired of it. Got to be honest. I love to chase achievements, but when they start becoming obsessive or a pain in the ass, get little issues. So we might walk away from this knowing that we're 7,500 of the regular materials, knowing that we just got to do strontium and titanium, we might back burner this. Go do something else because it's kind of getting a little disappointing and irritating, and I don't like feeling that way. I don't play this game for that reason. I play this game to relax, to have fun, to do crazy stuff, get silliness, etc. I'm not in this, that obsessive compulsive. So sometimes it's a smart move is to just walk away, take a step back, do something else for a little while, focus on something else. I've still got all this water I have to drink, 10,000 or 1,000 sips of water. I could stand out in the desert with heat stroke and just constantly tap that thing. It does work, but boy, is that ever annoying. I'm not willing to do that. We're going to go ahead and let some things just start to progress normally. Silent Assassin, we finished. That's the piloting the Hunter Seekers, but we still need Master Assassin, which is to kill Harkonnen troops. Luckily, we did do some of that with this Irradiated Slag thing, so hooray for that at least. But yeah, we're gonna think about it. I got fun times tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to a convention, so that's gonna be super exciting. We're gonna have a ball. I'll tell you all about it on Monday. But we're gonna rethink our position and kind of get an idea of where we want to go and how much do we really care about that mine. I mean, we're gonna get it. Don't get me wrong. Just might throttle back on it a little bit. So anyway, well, I appreciate everybody that watched. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope we answered some questions or. What's up, dude? Yeah. I just hope you had a good time. I did. Except for that thing not popping. That really sucks. Anyway, we'll get through it, like I said. So, I will see everybody again on Monday. Don't know what we're going to be doing. But I do have to go get some irradiated slag, and you don't need to come with me in that. You saw me doing that earlier. Only think we need like 30, so it's not bad at all. Definitely need to get something to drink. Go outside. I got to turn the AC on in this room. It's probably above 80 already. It's getting a little warm in here with all this stuff running. So, anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. And I will see everybody on Monday. And as always, I will see you out there. Take care.